दोस्तों लगभग पिछले 3 दिनों से सोशल मीडिया पर लगातार कॉकरोच जनता पार्टी का चर्चा हो रहा है और मजेदार बात यह है कि ये सिर्फ सोशल मीडिया पर ही हो रहा है। जमीन पर इसका कोई भी वजूद नहीं है, जमीन पर इसका कोई भी अता पता नहीं है। लेकिन उसके बाद भी वो चमचे, वो दरबारी पत्रकार जो कांग्रेस की दलाली किया करते थे, अब शौक से अपने आप को कॉकरोच बता रहे हैं।
All I know is cockroaches are great survivors. Let's be very clear. कॉकरोच को अगर आप एक कॉकरोच मारोगे तो 10 कॉकरोच बाहर आ जाते हैं. I've always believed journalists should be cockroaches. So cockroaches are great survivors. Their creativity through this Cockroach Janta Party. I am too old to perhaps join the Cockroach Janta Party, but I am a cockroach. That much I can promise you. I don't want to be a butterfly. I am happiest when I am a cockroach.
दरअसल हमारे आज के डिबेट में राजदीप सरदेसाई बड़े गर्व के साथ में अपने आप को कॉकरोच बता रहा था और कॉकरोच पर निबंध सुना रहा था, जिसको सुनते हुए बाकी पैनलिस्ट इसे इस तरह से देख रहे थे, इस तरह से मुस्कुरा रहे थे कि उन्हें पहले से ही पता हो कि हाँ, ये इंसान सच में कॉकरोच से कम तो नहीं है। बाकी क्या हमारे आज के इस डिबेट में आप खुद देखिए।
Well, the Chief Justice of India made a comment. He said he was misconstrued, but at the back of it was born the Cocroach Janta Party. And within a span of just a few days, at least on Instagram and where social media is concerned, it's taken over the number of followers then the biggest political party in the world, the Bharatiya Janata Party. Everyone's a tad bit shocked. Is the CJP, the Cocroach Janta Party, just a social media fad, or could it actually pose a real threat? And is there a Gen Z vote in this country to take? Well, let's open the debate. We have a packed house, but we're going to quickly bring in, but let me quickly introduce our panelists this evening. I have with me Sonal, Mr. Raj Chengappa, I have Tanisha, I have our Gen Z, Jessica as well, and we have Rajdeep Sardesai. Rajdeep, you want to open the debate?
इस बुड्ढे को किसने बुला लिया Gen Z की डिबेट में?
Well, what's the question? What's the question?
The question, Rajdeep, is CJP, the Cocroach Janta Party, a real threat or a social media fad? Is there a vote of the Gen Z to take in this country?
See, I think these are two separate questions. There is, I believe, a Gen Z vote definitely in this country. We saw it in Tamil Nadu. You could see the excitement, visible excitement in that age group between 18 and 21 or 18 and 25 when they supported the actor turned politician Vijay. So there is a Gen Z vote. There is a Yuva vote, let me call it. I don't want to divide between Gen Z, millennials. I get confused myself. But is the Cocroach Janta Party a representative of this Gen Z angst? I think the jury is out on that one. I'm very a little skeptical of sometimes what happens on social media. You can manage trends at times. Are they fully organic? I don't really know. All I know is cockroaches are great survivors. Let's be very clear. Cockroach को अगर आप एक cockroach मारोगे तो 10 cockroach बाहर आ जाते हैं. So I like the cockroach analogy that has come in because I've always believed journalists should be cockroaches. Why? Because if there is a nuclear explosion across the world, everything will be destroyed. The cockroach will survive because next morning he has to report to the world that there was a nuclear explosion. So cockroaches are great survivors. But being survivors doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to create a movement which will translate into something like what we saw in Nepal, which turned into a huge political movement. So let's enjoy it. I'm enjoying it thoroughly. I love it that young people are expressing their angst, their dissent, their creativity through this Cockroach Janta Party. I'm too old to perhaps join the Cockroach Janta Party, but I am a cockroach. That much I can promise you. I don't want to be a butterfly. I am happiest when I'm a cockroach watching what's happening around me. And if people try to crush me, I will survive and revive.
Well, it's already happening in the social media space because at least on Twitter, the handle of Cocroach Janta Party was taken down and suddenly a new handle has cropped up.
Examples that happened recently, let's look at Sri Lanka. The Gen Z disappears and you've got a regular party that is there that is taken over from the two established parties. Right. It is formed a third front, but is pushed together through various.
It created
Go back to Bangladesh, where again you've had a revolt of sorts, but you get the BNP back. Tariq Rahman is, in his 60s. It's not like he's young. The only place where you can look at an example is Balen Shah at 36.
But then, Raj, why look there? Look at Tamil Nadu.
Tamil
Look
Nadu
at
again.
Vijay.
Yeah, but Vijay's 50.
Look at TVK.
No,
Right.
Vijay's 50. He's not like a Gen Z guy. Let's look at Vijay. He doesn't just thrive because he has built a brand through films. He's not a Johnny come lately when it comes to knowledge, right? One we always think of Gen Z as the one that is creating the entire.
Not so easy.
True, Rajdeep.
Yeah, Gen Z is the one that is creating the entire movement. If you look at the ages of prime ministers, right? I think Rajiv Gandhi, if I was not mistaken, was 40 when he became prime minister, the youngest prime minister. And this is 84. Take a look at Benazir Bhutto across that side. She was 35. So it's not unusual for young to sort of create an impact, and we think this is just happening now. I think what you're seeing now is and every single political party, that's why, has to take note of it, because there is what would, let's say, a cocktail of factors that could create this to bubble up even further, because you do have issues that concern Gen Z, right? We know that this crisis that is on us, the oil shocks that's there, is going to impact jobs. It's going to cause inflation. Who's hurt the most in each of these things? It's the people that are looking out for jobs that's there. And so, therefore, we've seen in other countries, not that it could happen in India. I think the BJP has been extremely smart. If you look at Mr. Modi, he's adopted social media right from the time he emerged in 2012, long before everybody else knew the value. The BJP is a master at using all the WhatsApps and everything, as we saw in recent elections. So they are savvy. But at the end of the day, I think you have to meet the requirements that youth want, which is, and that is that large group, that they feel frustrated and they need to get...
Even though they're young, but they seem to be very jaded with the system. Okay, you wanted to come in.
No, so I just want to say, I agree with Rajdeep, sir, that a lot of times on social media, trends, they come up and then they as quickly fade away, right?
True.
So I think that's something that unless it translates into on-ground reality, it's going to sort of vanish. I mean, we're going to find out very soon, was this real political fire or is it just, we're just enjoying the vibe for now, right? We don't know. The second thing I want to say is that these platforms are third-party platforms, right? One change in algorithm, one ban on an account or any such violation means that everything could vanish overnight. So you can't own a rented house. That's something to remember. Have to move beyond social media to make a real difference.
और सोशल मीडिया से बाहर इनके पास कुछ भी है नहीं, सोशल मीडिया से बाहर इनका कोई भी वजूद नहीं। जिस तरह से ध्रुव राठी सिर्फ सोशल मीडिया पर ही बदलाव की बातें किया करता है, जिस तरह से एजाज खान सिर्फ सोशल मीडिया पर ही नेता बना करता है, उसी तरह से ये पार्टी भी सिर्फ सोशल मीडिया पर ही सिमट कर रह जाएगी। आज नहीं तो 6 दिन बाद ही सही, पर आने वाले टाइम में इसका भी कोई भी वजूद, कोई भी चर्चा नहीं रहने वाला। बाकी आप लोग इस बारे में क्या सोचते हैं, कमेंट में जरूर बताएं। जल्द मिलते हैं किसी नए वीडियो में नए टॉपिक के साथ। तब तक नमस्कार, जय हिंद।